I welcome you all to this presentation, which is to discuss nitrate and acetate ions. This will be experiment number 8. 7 we have already discussed. This is experiment number 8. Here the ion being discussed is nitrate ion, which belongs to concentrated sulfuric acid group. So the aim is to test the presence of nitrate in the given salt. First we'll write the physical tests, color, odor, solubility, and then chemical tests. Will take small quantity of the salt in a dry test tube and add a few ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to it. This is the preliminary test for all the ions which belong to concentrated sulfuric acid group. We'll get a light brown colored gas. You'll see some fumes, brown colored, in the test tube, which shows that NO2 gas is evolved. So we can infer that it may be nitrate. But sometimes what happens in some particular salts, simply by adding sulfuric acid to the salt, we do not get brown fumes, and we may miss it if we are carrying out test for an unknown salt. So it's always better that if you are doing an unknown salt and you do not get brown fumes, then please heat it once. Heat it carefully, the contents of the test tube, and then when you add a small piece of copper, which will come in the upcoming slide, then you get brown fumes. So heating helps in some of the salts. So you should always be careful that whenever you carry out test for nitrate, if you are not getting brown fumes, you should always heat it. So once you get light brown fumes, you can say that it may be nitrate. Then add copper turnings, small copper pieces, to the contents of the test tube and heat the test tube. Again, dark brown fumes are intensified, which were light brown initially, they will intensify. And now you can say that yes, nitrate is confirmed. There is very interesting one more chemical test, that is called ring test. You will take the salt solution, aqueous solution in a test tube and add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution to it. Then you have to hold the test tube in an inclined position, that is roughly at 45 degree from the plane of the surface where you are working. Roughly tilt it, and then you add concentrated sulfuric acid along the side of the inclined test tube, so that the sulfuric acid travels along the wall of the test tube and goes down straight. And then you will observe, if it is nitrate, that a dark blackish brown colored ring is formed because of the formation of this complex. And this will be formed at the junction of two liquids. Which two liquids? Ferrous sulfate solution you have added to aqueous solution, that will be one mixture, and this sulfuric acid is going down along the side of the test tube, and when it is traveling down and it makes a layer at the bottom of the test tube. So at the junction of the sulfuric acid and the solution that you started with, you will get a blackish brown colored ring. So this ring test confirms that there is nitrate. Now the given salt contains nitrate in it would be the result of the. These are the reactions involved when nitrate is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid in the preliminary test. It produces HSO4 minus, because NO3 minus takes hydrogen from a very strong acid, which is sulfuric acid, and makes HNO3. This HNO3 in aqueous medium decomposes rather, to give you NO2, O2 and H2O. So the brown fumes are because of some quantity of NO2 which is produced. When you add copper turnings to this test tube in which some brown fumes were getting produced, then this reaction is carried out. Copper sulfate is formed, and along with sulfate ions you get NO, which further oxidizes to more NO2, because oxygen was also getting produced here. So it produces more quantity of NO2, which is brown in color. That's why the brown fumes intensify. Then we have the ring test. The ring test, we take sulfuric acid along with the salt. Ferrous sulfate is already there. So when you do that, when you add sulfuric acid, then initially you get HSO4 minus and HNO3, and ferrous sulfate, freshly prepared ferrous sulfate that we are using, along with HNO3, which is formed in the first step, and we add more H2SO4 along the side of the test tube. So it will be producing ferric sulfate and NO. Now this ferrous sulfate, aqueous, which was there, when it comes in contact with NO, it is going to make FeNOSO4, or it is sometimes also written as FeSO4.NO. This is a complex coordinate compound which is formed. This is brown in color. That's why we get a brown ring at the junction of the two liquids. And this compound is named as nitroso-ferrous sulfate. So this compound is responsible for the brown ring formation. That was all about nitrate. And now we have experiment number 9, acetate, to test the presence of acetate in the given salt. After the physical tests, that is color, odor and solubility, we'll carry out the preliminary test by taking dry salt in a dry test tube and adding a few ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to it. You'll get vinegar-like smell, which is very familiar smell. Easily you can identify that characteristic smell of vinegar, but still will write it may be acetate because this is just the preliminary test. This is CH3COO minus, negative charge here. And then oxalic acid test is the next test. Mix a little of the salt with solid oxalic acid on a watch glass. Take salt, dry salt and oxalic acid, almost equal quantity, and mix them in a watch glass. In some of the books you will see that they have written take it on your palm and mix it, because these acids are not very strong acids, but still you should avoid taking any chemical on your palm directly like that. So take it in a watch glass and make a paste of it with a few drops of water. Rub the mixture between the fingers, very small quantity of it, or even if you just make a paste at that time only, you can just smell it and it will give you a vinegar like smell, so which confirms that there is acetate. And next is ester test, because it has to be the carboxylate ion which is reacting with alcohol to give rise to ester. So we can carry out this test. Take a pinch of the salt and add 2-3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid to it, and then ethanol, ethyl alcohol. Warm the mixture in a water bath, because whenever we make use of alcohol in any test, we should not heat it directly. Alcohol is quite volatile. It may catch fire. So you should always heat it in a water bath and then cool it and pour the contents into roughly 10 ml of aqueous solution of Na2CO3. This is done to neutralize if there is any extra acid, because otherwise you will not be able to smell the ester if it is formed there. So to neutralize the extra acid, add it into Na2CO3 and then you'll be able to smell the ester formed, which again confirms that there is acetate. And the last is ferric chloride test. Aqueous solution of the salt is taken and we add a few drops of neutral FeCl3 solution to it. It gives a deep red coloration instantly, which confirms that there is acetate in the given salt. And this is the result that we write in this manner. The given salt contains acetate in it. Reactions involved for acetate ion. The first is preliminary test. When we add sulfuric acid to acetate ion, it will give you acetic acid, which has a characteristic smell of vinegar. And the second is oxalic acid test. This is oxalic acid, which is a stronger acid than acetic acid. So when you add this to acetate salt, acetic acid is formed here also along with oxalate ion in the aqueous medium. So the vinegar-like smell is again because of the formation of acetic acid. And the last is ferric chloride test. The aqueous solution of the salt is treated with aric chloride aqueous solution, and because of the formation of this compound, which is peric acetate, you get a red color instantly. So these are the tests which confirm that there is acetate in the given salt. That completes concentrated sulfuric acid group. The next presentation, I will be sharing individual ions, sulfate and phosphate, which will complete the anionic part. Thank you.